Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, please click subscribe, like, and the notification bell. So this is the part 2 of the course. Well, I'll be teaching you guys how to create the student records management system in Excel VBA. So in part 2, I'll be covering how to do the upload photo function, delete photo, update, as well as the search function. Alright, so without further ado, let's get started. So to do the upload photo function, click on upload photo, right click, view code. Over here, just type in call upload photo. So we'll be creating upload photo function. So it's pretty easy. So just write private sub as a procedure, upload photo, and sub is automatically created, and we'll be using a variable called img. So dim img as string tab. So what we'll be doing here is that first of all, we want to use a function that open up the folder to allow us to select the student photo, which will be in JPEG image type. So just image equals to application dot get open file name, right? Then file filter, alright, JPEG images, comma, star dot JPG, JPEG, comma. So this is, we're using a file filter. As you can see, this is the hint, right? And then what we'll type next is title. So title will be, this will be the title of the pop-up box. Select. Alright, maybe I'll just write please select an image. Alright. Okay, so that's it. Next line will be, now you check if using the directory inbuilt directory function of the VBA, if the file path, which is img in this case, alright, this is the full file path of the image. If it's not equals to empty, then let's end if, then what happens? Then I will load the picture into the image box, right? So let me just quickly save and go to the object here, properties, and this is the image box that will display the picture. So let's go back, view code, this dot picture, okay, equals to, I'll then use the load picture inbuilt function within VBA to load the full image. You see, load picture, loading the full file name. Alright, and then student image dot visibility visible, set it to true. Okay, the reason is because earlier on, if you scroll down, if you scroll down to the sub procedure for user form initialization, right? You notice that we actually set the default visibility to false. So now, after we've uploaded the picture and we want it to be visible, definitely we have to set it to true, right? And then go back to the form. Remember earlier in part 1, I mentioned that we have a small little, this is a little text box here, whereby we set the visibility to false See, false. So this is what we'll use to capture the full image URL of the image, alright? So that we can store it into our database worksheet. And also this is very useful to allow us to retrieve the picture when there's a need to. So I think, let me just quickly copy the name of this hidden text box. Let me go back to my code, view code. Okay, so next will be dot value, all right, equals to the full image path. Okay, and now once that's done, let's give it a shot. So let's give it a shot. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, please click subscribe, like, and the notification bell. So this is the part 2 of the course. Well, I'll be teaching you guys how to create the student records management system in Excel VBA. So in part 2, I'll be covering how to do the upload photo function, delete photo, update, as well as minimize. Oops, sorry. Okay, so click on open. Okay, so for some funny reason, my programming doesn't allow me to use this function name anymore. So I'm just gonna add 1 to make it unique. Probably there's a clash with the same function name that I used in my original project. So I'm just gonna differentiate the function name by adding 1 for now, and then go back to the file, open. Okay, sorry. Let me hit stop. Okay, open. Okay, now it works. And when I upload the photo, open. All right, see. So now the upload photo function works as well. There's an outline. Let's see if I can remove it. Close. Oh, okay, Visual Basic. Okay, properties. 0. Okay, save. And then if I minimize, open, and then upload photo, voila. So now the border is gone. Alright, let me just quickly show you guys how to delete photo. So go back to delete photo under this user form, right click view code, then we'll do this. So essentially what we're doing is that first we'll make the image visibility to false, and then we'll set the value to empty like this. Then let's give it a shot, open, upload picture, so 1, delete, perfect. Okay, close. Now it comes to saving the photo. So we'll click on the save button, right click view code. This is what we already done in part 1. So to check it out, please go to the link description below. Okay, so let's find the area to insert the piece of code. All right, let's just put it here. So what I'm gonna enter here is that if this is like the validation that we're doing for the image. So if view object properties is to the image, we're checking the path, right? Sorry, we're checking this. We should be checking this. So now you see it is very important that we actually have this text box that stores the file path. Okay, so now you understand why we have this hidden here, right? So copy the image URL, view code. Okay, so if the image URL dot value, okay, if it's empty, then let me just end if, then same thing, checker is false. Okay, Error counter again, we'll add 1, and then we'll have error message. All right, that says that student image is empty. Student image is empty. All right, after which we'll go down to this portion of the code that saves the data into the database worksheet. So what we'll be adding here is that on column 15 of the row, we're gonna enter cells. All right, empty row, comma, column 15. All right, equivalent to the image underscore URL dot value. All right. So next we'll call a new function that I'll be writing. So what this function does is that it will copy the original image into a newly constructed folder, and then use the student ID value, combine it with the timestamp to create a unique image name. So let's do that. Call the function name is pick copy. Okay, I'm gonna put in the image URL. All right, together with the student ID value. Okay, save, that's it. And then I go to module 1 view code. Over here, right below the valid email function, I'm going to put in the new function that we're writing. So, okay, let's just put it there, sub. Right, image URL as string, student ID as string. Okay, so dim image so name as string. All right. Okay, so now we'll use the Excel VBA inbuilt function dir directory function. Then copy this over. Okay, so what this does is that you'll look at the file path of this workbook and application.path separator. This is a backslash and images. So it's checking this particular file path. All right, the current that means the path of the current workbook backslash images. If it's null or if it's none. If it's none, then I will create this particular folder. Okay, so let me just quickly copy over. You'll make this directory. So again, respective to the file path of this workbook, backslash and images. I'll show you guys how it looks like later. And then once this directory has been created, all right, image name, let me just copy this, image name equals to this workbook dot path and application dot path separator, right, and images, right, and application dot path separator again, and okay, I'm gonna copy this down. Okay, so over here, I'm actually constructing the full file path of the new image. See, same workbook path, file path, backslash images, backslash this part format. I'm formatting the name of the new image using the timestamp, day, month, year, hour, minute, seconds, underscore plus the student ID. So this is unique. Alright. Finally, I'll use file copy. Image name is here. Image URL, okay. So what this does is that it will copy the original image that I uploaded onto the form to the new full address, alright, of the image, of the duplicated image. So essentially this image name is this variable, they're the same, right? So it is the full file path name plus the image name. So original source copy to the new source, alright, with the full file path name. Alright, that's what it means. Alright, I think we are good. Let me just double check. View code. Okay, I think I can give it a shot. Let me just minimize. Open source. Okay, so let's say 4589. Let's try. Name, family name, Green, given name, John, address, Rainbow Street, 456. Okay, postal code, 565648. Phone number 2323-5656. Email john.green@mail.com. Identification code F89 something something. Email will be school will be computing. Here will be this. Upload picture. Okay, so notice that currently in this particular folder there is no images folder, right? And we're gonna upload the student picture here. Perfect. Family name, I don't know, Lucy Green, right? Same as the above. Number. Okay, and email will be lucy.green@gmail.com. All right. So what I'll do is that I will press save. Okay, record have been successfully saved. Okay, and then I'll just close. When I go to my database, right, voila, the last record has been saved. Everything including the image path, right? And then let's see. When I go to my okay, so when I go to my folder, you'll realize that okay, images folder is created, and voila, this file path is created as well. Alright, so when under my database sheet, I noticed that just now when I saved the picture, I was still referring to the original file path. Now that is not what we want, because ultimately when we save the record into our worksheet, we want the file path to be the new file path like this one. So how do we do this? What changes once we make to our code? So quickly, I'm going to show you guys what I did to change. First of all, go to module view code. What I've done is that I have actually did some modification. Instead of the original sub, I change it into a function. So function, and then I return a value, a string value. And over here, I actually assign the new image full file path to the function to be returned as the value. That is how, and when I call this function in the save function in my user form, when I call it and run all this procedure, it will return me the file path of the new image. All right, that was actually copied from the original source. All right, so when I go back to my function that's saving the data to a database sheet, so what I did now is that I removed the call pick copy. I actually just run the function as per normal, and then since now this function will return me the string value of the new file path of the picture, I'll assign it to the image URL value, and then assign it to the column. Well, a better way is that you can just assign this value to this particular cell. I mean, either way will work, but you know, for me to explain the thing clearly, I think it's easier to visualize it in this way. All right, so if I were to save, let me just show you guys. Maybe another one, 343, family name. Okay, Fox, given name, Daniel, brand, 34, postal code, 99, number, I don't know, 232323, and then dot fox at hotmail.com. Alright, maybe tip something. School of Law. Here, our picture, same picture. Obviously, this once we save it, it'll come with a unique name. Right. How about Fox, same as the above, and then something like that. Sarah Fox at gmail.com. All right. So once that's all done, I will save. Okay, record have been saved successfully. Close. When I check my database, you realize that okay, this is the new record. Everything had been saved inside already, right? Scroll to right, and you can see that voila, this is a new image. The last portion of the image name is 343, which is a student ID, plus the timestamp 24th June 2021. Hours, minute, seconds, right? And if I were to go to my images, you'll see that okay, it's all the same, but you can see that here is the exact. If you look, 2406202122523, and this is one that's been saved. Perfect. So now I'm going to show you guys how to do the search function. Alright, so go back to our code, view our form, and then right click, search, view code. Alright, so over here, we're going to declare some variables. Team RNG as range, commerce, cell as range, last row as long. All right, next, so we're gonna check if the student ID is empty or not. So if, just copy here, student ID value equals to empty, then message box. Please enter a student. Alright, ID. Thank you. Just to be polite about it. And if. Alright, so let's just quickly check if this works. Open, search. Alright, it works. So, because there's no ID, right? So let's go back. Right click, view code. Okay. I'm gonna put additional logic here. Else. Right, so first of all, we need to look at the database worksheet to see if the student ID that's being searched already exists. So again, we need to identify the last row with data on the database worksheet. And how do we do that? So last row equals to last row equals to worksheets database dot cells, right, rows dot count. Okay, comma, we are looking at column A for all the rows, and we're looking it from upwards, so bottom upwards. So NXL up. Alright, dot row. So this will help us identify from bottom up the last row with data. Alright, and then set RNG equals to, so what is range? Will be worksheets again, database dot range. Okay, so what's the range? A, we are looking at cell A2, comma A colon. What is the last row? And this is the last row. So this is a number, which is the last row that has data. So it's A2 colon A, another number, which is the last row. Alright, so this is a range that we're gonna loop to identify the existing record with the student ID that's currently being searched. So let's do the loop. So for loop for each cell in this particular range, let's just end this first. Next cell. Okay, so what's inside? Looking at this whole range, if cell dot value, all right, equals to student ID dot value. Okay, then I'll need to pull the record, and if save. Take note that this is a string value, so I need to convert this to a number, right? So CLNG convert this to a long variable. So this will do the comparison, because if I don't do the conversion with this, it will give us an error. Alright, so looking through the whole entire range with data, if okay, so essentially what this for loop does is that it will loop through the whole range, this particular range, pulling at every cell on the on column A throughout all the rows, and they're trying to find existing ID value, right, that's equivalent to the one that's being searched. Alright, so once you have identified it, what will we do? which is pretty simple. We will essentially, let me just copy everything that's here. Okay, populate the value in the form, right? So how do we do that? This one we can exclude. Alright, family name equals to work sheets database. Okay, dot cells, right? Cell dot value, right? Comma. Sorry, cell dot row, comma 2 dot value. Okay, so looking at the cell, right? Looking at the cells, the row at the particular the row at the cell and the column is 2, right? Which contains we're pulling out the value. So this is the family name. To help you visualize, on column 2, if you go to database sheet, column 2 is a family name. So looking at a particular row, pulling out the family name. Alright, so let's go back quickly. Okay, and then we do the same. Okay, number 3 for given name, address should be number 4. Okay, and then postal code number 5, right? Phone number should be number 6. Email will be number 7. Identification number 8. Save. Okay, and let's do the combo box as well. So combo box, go up here, value, right, equals to, copy this, number 9. Okay, enrollment year dot value equals to, this is number 10. Save. Right, followed by all the family details, right? So copy here and image. So let's do this first. Address will be 12. Number is 13. And $14. Okay, right, save, and we still need to put in the picture, right? So what we're gonna do is Alright, so we're gonna use a URL again. So where's that URL that we put in here? We're gonna use the URL to pull out the picture. And how do we do that? Equals to, first of all, let's pull out the particular URL, right, which is 15. Right, so we're gonna check if the picture exists, if directory if the URL for the image is not empty, then then we'll do then this is the image box, student image dot picture, right, equals to load picture. Gonna load this particular address in order for us to display the picture into the picture box. And then we'll also set the visibility dot visible to true. Okay, all right, and if once that's done, we can exit the for loop, because assuming that in our database worksheet there is only every student has a unique student ID, so there will not be repetition, there will not be duplicated records with the same student ID. So once we have identified the the row with that student ID that we're searching for, and we'll display all the values into the user form, we can exit for. Alright, because there's no need for the loop to continue running through the entire worksheet, as it can be a waste of time. So let's do this. Let's do our test, save, and we minimize the sheet. Let's take a look at the last record. Student ID is 343. Control open. If there's nothing and I search, please enter student ID. But if I enter 343, search, voila, everything is being pulled out. Perfect, right? Alright, close. Alright, so now I'll quickly show you guys how to do the update function. See the code. Alright, so view the form, right click, view object, which is here, update, right click, view code. Alright, so to save time, I've already populated the code, but I'm gonna explain to you what the logic means. So first of all, update function is very similar to the saving function, except that we have to look at our database sheet and find the existing student record with the student ID of the student record that we're trying to update, and then just overwrite the existing value with the new values. So basically I've just copied this whole chunk of code from the save function. Feel free to pause the video if you wish to copy. So again, I've declared a number of variables here which we'll use later in our code below. As you can see, all these are the same validations that we used earlier under our saving function. So I'm checking if the student ID is empty, right? And we have the checker. We also have the error counter and error message variable as well, checking if the student ID if it's a number or not. Checking family name, given name, right? Exact same validations as before in our saving function that was covered in part 1, and run into the email validation as well. So feel free to hit pause. I'm just gonna scroll down, checking the family details, exact same validations. Okay, I'm just scrolling down very slowly. for you to hit pause and to copy. Alright, so now after all the validation have been completed, we can save the updates to the existing student record. So if checker is true, right, then we'll run the logic where we'll find in database sheet all the rows of column A. I'm scanning from down to up, and then find the last row and set the range, cell A2 to A, the value, the number for the last row. That's the range I'm looking at. So using the for loop, and we're checking in this particular range, okay, the cell value in this case, which is since we're looking at column A, is all the student IDs, and we are checking against the current student ID that we're searching for. Once we've found it, then we'll set all the values, all these values from the user form to what? To the row, right? To the existing row. And these are all the columns, these are rows. So we are effectively doing an override, right? And then for the picture portion, again we're triggering the same function that we used before, whereby we will copy the source image of the student, alright, to our images directory, and then you return the value. Let's see, view code. It will actually return the value of the whole file path of the image name, right? So, and then we'll save it to column 15 of database sheet. Once everything is completed, the user will see update completed in the message box. However, if our checker, the value is false because there is an existing error that is spotted above, then we will throw the error message, exactly what we've done in our saving function that we covered earlier. So let's just quickly test out this update function. So first of all, our last record is let's see, is 343, right? So let's do that. Open 343, open. Okay, so I can see all the values that's been put up here. Let me just maybe update the family name to X. Alright, so I updated the family name and the family member name. If what happens if I press update? Student image is empty. So let me do a quick upload. Alright, let me just I'll use back this image, but the name will change. Okay, so let me use this, open. Alright, it's shown good. And when I press update completed. So essentially, I'll see 3 changes: family name, family member name, as well as the image path of the student record. Okay, close. Let's see, database, I go here. Okay, family name is updated, and okay, this is updated as well. And then finally I can see the file path, the full file path of the image. What happens if I open the okay, so this is the project folder, right? Go to images and see that this is the updated student image, and it contains the latest file name, which is today's date, 26th June. Alright, 2021, and timing is 2133 p.m. right? So it just happened. Underscore student ID, and that's it. If I go back, if I try to, let's say, search, if I try to remove certain fields, right? Update, see, validations are being thrown, postal code is empty, and our family member address is empty. So those are not allowed because they're caught in our validations. Let's close. Alright, everything's still there. In the last record, nothing's erased. Alright, so everything works perfect. Okay, once again, thank you so much for watching this part of the course. This is part 2, and well, one more part of the course to go, and I'll prepare that really soon. So if you enjoyed this video, please click subscribe, like, as well as the notification bell. And I wish you all the best in this journey to learn more about VBA coding, or perhaps any other programming languages. So I wish you a good day ahead. Take care and see you next time. Bye.